Having to worry about whether or not you're going to be able to afford feminine hygiene products such as tampons, pads, Midol is stressful and isn't something that us women should have to continue worrying about. You may have heard something called the luxury tax, also known as the pink tax or the tampon tax. This is where the government has decided to tax certain items that are not deemed as essential. How is it that almost 50% of the population is having to go out at least once or twice a month to go out and buy feminine products such as tampons, pads, and Midol and different things like that, when it is something that's natural and a reoccurring for us women? That's just not fair to me. As women, we already have to deal with enough of differences between men. We have fought for so long to be looked at as equals, and we still are not looked at as equals. We're still taking pay cuts at our jobs when we're working the same exact jobs as other men are working. And that's just not fair. If you look at other female products, such as conditioner, shampoo, deodorant, and different things like that, you can see how big of a price difference it is from men's shampoo, conditioners, and body wash compared to women's. That's just crazy. That's astronomical. When a woman goes in to go get her haircut, our haircuts normally cost around $50 to $80. Now, men, when they go in for their haircuts, it's going to cost them around $30 to $40. I don't see how that's fair. I'm not saying that all feminine products should be free, but the government should not be allowed to put extra tax on things that they deem as not necessary. But I do think that in schools around the country, around the US, anywhere, should have tampons and pads for free in every single woman's bathroom. The average age of young women starting their periods is around 10 to 12 years old. That's such a young and scary time to have to start your period. It's very unexpected, and you never know when it's going to happen. And so for a girl to have started her period at school and not having anything to help her is very embarrassing and something that you will never forget. So to be able to have tampons and pads at schools for young girls who might need them, and us older women who are in college and high school and things like that, we still need them. There are many women out there now who are not able to afford a box of tampons, which costs around $7 to $8. That's not fair. There's women in less developed countries who are not able to go out and buy them. They have to stay at home and miss out on school once a month for an entire week. Losing an entire week of school is astronomical, and those kids in underdeveloped schools do not have the education that we have here in America. So for young women to have to miss at least a week or more of school because they don't have anything to help with their periods is unfair and not okay. Education is so sought after for young women in those countries to try to make a better life of for themselves and their family. And we should be able to have the products that we need without having to worry about them costing too much, or that it's the last $10 that I might have until payday. And should I use that $10 for food or gas? That's just not fair and not something that we should, as women in the 21st century, be worrying about. There are a few countries and states that have been able to abolish the tampon tax. On July 15th, 2015, Canada was able to lift the tampon tax. There was a petition that was signed, and it was signed by over 75,000 people. And by that, they were able to lift and abolish the tampon tax. Now, in 2016, there was 5 other states that also abolished that tax. Those include Minnesota, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Minnesota, Massachusetts, and Maryland. This is something that every country and every state should be doing already. Now, there is an argument that supports the tax being continued. This is where revenue collection comes in. This is where the government is wanting to tax items to make revenue to pay for things in the state. In California, it was talked about how if the luxury tax was taking off of feminine products, that would cost the state $20 million. I don't see why our feminine hygiene products should be helping with revenue when it's something that we as women have to go through for at least upwards to 40 years of our life, you know. Why are they not trying to tax other things like marijuana or just different items like that, where they could create better revenue and make more money for the states? I do agree that there should still be sales tax because you still have to make money. If we were to take off the sales tax or any kind of tax off of feminine products and make them free for us women, then in that sense, toilet paper should also be free. So I think that there still should be a sales tax, just not a pink tax, because it's very sexist and very unfair for us. This conversation needs to be brought up more and talked about because it's such a natural occurrence for us women to have to go through. In Illinois, it was estimated that the women have spent almost $14.7 million on feminine hygiene products for themselves. That's astronomical. And then in Missouri, they talked about how the sales tax for feminine products was 4.2%. But then for items like candy or donuts, the sales tax was only 1.2. I don't see how that's even close to being the same difference. Now, this is something that needs to be brought to everyone's attention, and we need to normalize talking about women's period and how natural it is and how unfair it is that as women have to go through paying so much more when we really shouldn't be. I hope this video helps you realize what is going on and hopefully spark some kind of spark deep down to help fight and get this tampon luxury tax abolished and taken away for once and for all for everybody.